Justin Bieber, the price of fame. Behind the billion-dollar smile. At just 13 years old, Justin Bieber went from a small-town Canadian kid to a global sensation almost overnight. Discovered on YouTube, mentored by industry giants, and adored by millions, he had what the world believed was a perfect life. Chart-topping hits, private jets, luxury mansions, and a love story that made headlines. But behind the flashing cameras and platinum records, a darker, far more painful story was quietly unfolding. This is the side of Justin Bieber the world rarely sees. A young man who spiraled from unimaginable wealth into financial ruin, who faced battles with addiction, depression, and suicidal thoughts, who broke down on stage in tears, and who has questioned everything from his faith to his self-worth. His marriage to Hailey Bieber, often seen as picture perfect, has been tested time and again by public scrutiny, personal trauma, and the lingering shadow of his past. As the layers peel away, what's revealed is not the pop prince we grew up watching, but a human being, fragile, conflicted, and deeply scarred by the very industry that made him a star. This is not just the story of a fallen idol. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when a child is handed the world before he's ready and is expected to carry it on his shoulders. Welcome to the truth behind the fame. Welcome to the world of Justin Bieber, raw, broken, and still trying to heal. Justin Bieber, from billion-dollar star to the brink of collapse. Justin Bieber's marriage to Hailey has never been easy. Hailey once admitted that there was a time when she didn't want to continue. Justin Bieber, who has earned between $500 million and nearly $1 billion throughout his career, once squandered that huge fortune to the point of financial collapse. Some friends, business associates, and people who were close to Justin shared that he ignored them because the church was too controlled, to the point that some called it a cult. When questioned, people in the church simply replied, "If this is a cult, it must be the worst cult in history because we only see each other once a month." Justin Bieber has been open about his mental health and its impact on his marriage to Hailey. He posted a video on Instagram announcing that he was postponing his show because he had Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which paralyzed one side of his face. The Justice World Tour was also canceled. Rumors spread that Justin had fired longtime manager Scooter Braun, and the two had not spoken for months. He also sold all of his music rights for $200 million, although a longtime friend said that Justin had sold more than 150 million records. People said that at the age of 31, Justin Bieber looked gaunt and haggard, with dark circles around his eyes, which really worried his fans. And they had reason, because Justin himself admitted that he had thought about suicide many times, when the feeling that this pain will never go away haunted him. When Justin was a child, his anger was considered childish. But in fact, even now, he still has those angers, as shared by people close to Justin. Even during a conference call with Justin's managers, when asked about his mental health, they immediately avoided it, not wanting to discuss it, as if there was something very wrong. Those signs were more evident than ever when Justin burst into tears on stage during the Justice Tour, posting lengthy essays on social media about feeling unworthy, lying to the world that he was talented, while inside he always felt empty. This is not Justin Bieber's story alone. Many famous stars from a young age are pushed into the adult world too early, carrying the burden of adulthood while still a child, and facing the loneliness and harshness of showbiz. We have seen Justin walking out of a coffee shop, looking weak and stressed in front of paparazzi. When fans thanked him, Justin just smiled awkwardly, replied, "Thank you," then turned away, leaving an indescribable, heavy atmosphere. Justin once admitted to using MDMA, Xanax, mushrooms, and marijuana, to the point where he said, "I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is take a pill, smoke a joint, and start a new day." One of the most worrying moments for fans was at Coachella recently, when he appeared looking a little out of it, slumped over his friend's shoulders, his eyes glazed over. Online, netizens circulated videos and began to speculate what he had been drinking, because clearly Justin was not okay. A woman who stood next to Justin for over an hour and a half at Coachella said, "It's weird, the first time I saw him, I thought Justin looked completely normal. But then I realized that look, that emptiness, it's not like anyone else. Justin Bieber, the man everyone thinks is living the perfect life with money, fame, and a dream marriage, is actually struggling with more problems than you might think. Many people who have stood next to him have confirmed that from the outside, Justin looks no different from a normal 30-year-old man, not drunk or out of control. Some even said that the image of Justin walking with his girlfriend reminded them of themselves and their lover, just happy moments in everyday life. However, inside, Justin was fighting the darkness. While working on the new album in Iceland, where many collaborators participated, Justin was still caught smoking marijuana, which is now even more dangerous because the THC concentration can reach 100%, easily causing deep addiction and severe mental effects. Justin's representative denied that he used any hard drugs, but the question of what hard drugs really are still open, because for some people, even mushrooms are not considered hard drugs, although it clearly has a strong effect on the mind. It is worth noting that when someone mentioned Justin's mental health, his team immediately avoided and closed the topic. They claim Justin is in the best shape of his life, while Justin himself has cried and told people, "I'm trying to figure things out. I don't know what's going on. I need help." Justin Bieber has shared about the dark side of his personality. He can be sweet and angry at the same time, like a modern-day Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It reflects his inner turmoil and also the harsh reality of growing up too fast when famous at a young age, having to shoulder adult responsibilities when you are still a child who needs to live your age. Images of Justin leaving coffee shops, looking thin and tired, easily angered by paparazzi, or the times he appeared in a state of confusion at Coachella, collapsing into fans, have portrayed a star who is fighting an internal storm. Justin has admitted in the past that he uses MDMA, Xanax, mushrooms, marijuana, and starts his day with pills and marijuana just to survive each day. However, when thinking of Justin Bieber, people cannot help but mention Hailey, the wife who has accompanied him through the most difficult times. From the early days of their quick dating after Justin broke up with Selena, many people thought Hailey was just a backup plan, and their marriage was arranged. Justin even joked on television that it might have been an arranged marriage when Hailey was introduced to him by his family because they shared the same religious beliefs. The couple entered the marriage at a very young age, and they faced a lot of pressure from the media, fans, and Justin's own inner turmoil. Hailey was constantly attacked by Selena's fans, to the point that she called her mother in despair while in Manhattan, saying, "I can't do this anymore." Hailey witnessed every chaotic phase of Justin's life, from his confessions of dating many women, his partying lifestyle, to his struggles with addiction and identity crisis. Yet she stayed by his side and Justin loved her deeply. The two built a family together, raising a lovely son, despite constant criticism from the public. But the marriage was never easy, and Justin himself almost collapsed in the first year of their marriage. Justin's deep wounds, the immense pressure of the spotlight, and the public skepticism have made their marriage a bumpy ride. And that's Justin Bieber, a star once considered the Prince of Pop, who was trying to survive the storms in his heart. Learn to grow up in a world that doesn't allow him to make mistakes and keep his small family strong amidst all the drama. You know what really haunts Justin Bieber's life? Selena. Not because Selena did anything to him, but because the people around them, even Hailey, Justin's wife, are haunted by Selena's image. Many people say that Selena is always present in Hailey's mind, like an invisible standard. Look at the controversy about Hailey being accused of imitating Selena from tattoos, quotes, or style. You will understand. On January 24th, 2020, Selena wrote, "I realize that people are telling my life story for me." Just a month later, Hailey posted, "I realize that I can tell my own story instead of letting others do it for me." Strangely similar, right? Meanwhile, Justin was in a financial mess. Many people said he spent money recklessly, and Hailey was no exception. It is said that during the Justice Tour, Justin rented a huge private jet. Hailey also wanted an identical one. The tour manager advised her to take a smaller one to save money, but Hailey said bluntly, "No, that's the one Kylie Jenner has, and I won't accept a smaller one. Money and sex, two things that can easily ruin a marriage, both exist in their story. But to be fair, they love each other. Anyone who has witnessed it can see that Justin is always affectionate, hugging and kissing Haley in public, and Haley is fiercely protective of Justin. But you know their marriage was not easy. Justin once smoked so much marijuana that Haley had to say, "I have to stop. We have a child." He entered the marriage with a lot of problems, carrying the hope that Haley could heal him. But that also created enormous pressure for her. The two have overcome many storms, but clearly this marriage has never been smooth. As for Justin, he made $500 million to nearly $1 billion in his career, but eventually had to sell his music catalog because he went bankrupt. Money obviously is the root of all his troubles. For Justin, music is his biggest asset. But the real question is, did he actually write those hits? Bieber's side says Justin wrote everything. Scooter Braun's side insists Justin didn't write any of his hits. If you look it up, Justin still gets credit. But the truth inside the music world is, if you have a demo from someone else, change a note, add a line, you qualify for co-writer credit. There are people who send Justin demos, and he doesn't change anything, just re-records them. Longtime collaborator Pooh Bear has written some of his biggest hits, and Justin barely edited them before releasing them. Despacito is another example. The final version is almost identical to the demo. This is not new because showbiz is full of artists who are credited as co-writers, but in fact they wrote nothing. Scooter had to fight fiercely to gain control of Justin's music catalog, burning many relationships to protect this asset. Justin Bieber, the idol of millions, the man at the peak of fame, is actually trapped in a spiral of money, love, insecurity, addiction, and nameless pain. That is the naked truth behind the halo. Ever wonder who actually wrote Justin Bieber's biggest hits? Despacito? Not Justin. Love Yourself? Ed Sheeran and Benny Blanco wrote it. Sorry? Julia Michaels and Justin Tranter wrote it. Boyfriend? Mike Posner wrote it. In a documentary, Ed Sheeran and Benny Blanco filmed themselves writing and recording Love Yourself, and Justin was nowhere to be seen. In fact, Justin's longtime manager, Scooter Braun, was the one who made sure Justin got a publishing credit on these songs, even though he didn't write them. This is how the music industry works. Songwriters agree to share publishing rights with a big star, in exchange for their songs becoming global hits with Justin Bieber singing them. Justin's people say Scooter tricked Justin. But looking at this story, did Scooter really trick him? Scooter was the one who found Justin when he was 13, turning him into a global superstar. Their relationship was very close. Scooter was like a father figure. Justin considered him family. But then when Justin looked back, he felt he had been cheated, that he was just a golden goose for Scooter, that those who got rich from him got rich faster than he did. Things started to fall apart from the Justice Tour. In February 2022, Justin started the tour with 49 shows. He pulled the plug, canceling the remaining 81 shows. The public reason? Justin had Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which caused paralysis on one side of his face. He cried on stage, couldn't blink, couldn't smile. But behind the scenes, the story wasn't that simple. AEG, the tour organizer, advanced Justin $40 million. When Justin canceled the tour, AEG asked him to pay back $24 million, but Justin said he didn't have the money. Scooter and his company Hive paid the debt instead, and Justin signed a contract to pay it back over 10 years. Justin paid it once and then stopped. This is where the fight began. Justin's side accused Scooter of taking too much commission. Scooter set up an internal audit, which showed that Justin owed Scooter $1 million. Justin didn't believe it and asked for an independent audit. PwC, one of the most prestigious auditing firms in the world, spent 6 months checking all the books. The result? Justin didn't owe $1 million. Justin owed Scooter more than $8 million. The irony is that Justin asked for the audit, but when the results showed that he owed a larger amount, Justin's team kept quiet and didn't reveal the results of their own audit. You know what's funny? If Justin hadn't canceled the tour, he would have pocketed $90 million, enough to pay off all his debts and have tens of millions left over. Behind Justin Bieber's halo is a battle between money, trust, and broken relationships. He was once a child who put all his trust in Scooter. Now he believes that the man who was like a father has taken away his youth and financial freedom. This is not just Justin's story. This is the naked dark side of the music industry, where money always wins and artists are not always the final winners. Have you ever wondered why Justin Bieber, a global superstar, had to sell his music catalog in a hurry? Justin used to earn from $500 million to nearly $1 billion throughout his career, owning private jets, cash villas, luxury tour buses. Yet in 2022, Justin fell to the brink of financial collapse. Justin's own side has admitted this, although they have denied it to the media. A very knowledgeable source told us that Justin once had to borrow a credit card from Will Bracey, a church member, just to go golfing, because he didn't have enough money. Why? Because the pop star lifestyle burns through money like crazy, renting a jumbo jet, refusing to take a smaller plane, 8 tour buses, including one that costs $2 million to renovate, renting a hotel in Iceland for $60,000 a night. And when you spend without limits, one day you run out of money. Justin Bieber sold his music catalog for just $200 million at the height of his career, unheard of for an artist of his age and status. Scooter Braun even advised him to wait until January to get a tax break, but Justin replied, "I have to sell now," because he was really running out of money. When Justin ran out of money, he started blaming, and Scooter Braun became the target. Justin believes that Scooter, who was once a surrogate father, did not teach him how to manage his finances, took too many commissions, and cheated him throughout his career. But in fact, audits, including the independent audit that Justin himself requested, have shown that Scooter did nothing wrong. Everything is transparent, in the contract, reaffirmed many times over the years. But the biggest question, who is in Justin's ear? Justin's life has always had guides. Scooter Braun, who was his manager and spiritual father, Carl Lentz, pastor of Hillsong Church, and Judah Smith, the current pastor, who has a huge influence on Justin. Judah is not just a pastor, he sits on the board of Drew House, the fashion brand Justin founded with Ryan Good. When Justin and Ryan's relationship fell apart, Judah stayed. Those who were once close to Justin now criticize Judah, saying that he controlled Justin's personal and professional life, turning Justin into a docile sheep rather than a free man. Some even call it a cult. Judah simply laughs. If this is a cult, then we are the worst cult in history. But the rumors of having to pay 10% of his income to the church, which is non-negotiable, never went away. In fact, Justin Bieber never had a childhood. He became a superstar at 13, didn't understand the value of money, and had no one to teach him how to manage his finances properly. When he went bankrupt, he found someone to blame. That person, in his eyes, was Scooter. But to be fair, Scooter is not the bad guy in this story. He is just part of the harsh music industry, where artists can easily get caught up in the spotlight, money, and false beliefs. Behind Justin Bieber's smile on stage, behind the jets, the canceled tours, the hastily sold music catalog, is the story of a star who didn't know how to grow up, didn't know how to keep what he created, didn't know how to escape the shadow of the very people who saved him. That is the truth about Justin Bieber. In recent years, many people close to Justin have been cut out of his life. His best man, Ryan Good, was also cut out. Why? Because of Judah Smith. Judah is not just a pastor, he also sits on the board of Drew House, the clothing brand Justin founded. When Justin broke up with Scooter Braun, many believe Judah was the one who whispered in Justin's ear, sowing doubt in his mind, stirring up conflict with the very person who had supported him for the past 18 years. Judah Smith and his church have been accused by many former members of being a modern cult. If you don't give 10% of your income to the church, you're fired, they said. An employee filed a class action lawsuit alleging that the church forced him to pay a tithe as a condition of continuing to work. The church denied this, saying it was all rigged. But the question remains, is this church really saving Justin, or is it controlling him for profit? It was a strange meeting. Justin walked in, looked at Scooter, and kept saying, "You're not better than me." It's said that Lou Taylor, the financial manager and church member, sat there with Judah, telling Scooter that Justin couldn't move forward if he kept this relationship. Scooter didn't understand what was going on, but it was clear that a new force had replaced the father role he once held in Justin's life. Even Ryan Good, Justin's best man and best man at his wedding, was questioned by Judah and Justin about his sex life and dating. Ryan felt violated, left the church, and Justin cut off contact. It's said that Justin is now completely isolated, with only Judah Smith in the church around him. Now Justin is in Iceland, recording music. He's been out of the pop star game for a while, canceled his Justice tour midway through, is in debt, sold his music catalog, and lives in exhaustion and doubt. But can Justin Bieber make it back to the top? He's only in his early 30s, but he's been in the business for over 15 years, long enough to be a living legend. He's still one of the most streamed artists on Spotify. He can still come back with a #1 album whenever he wants. His audience has grown up, gotten married, had kids, and they'll still be there if Justin comes back. The question is, does Justin want to come back? All signs point to him not wanting to be a pop star anymore. He hates touring, he hates the pressure, he hates the game. But he doesn't have to come back if he doesn't want to, because Justin has a huge legacy, and if he just stands still, the money keeps coming. If he wants, he can take on multi-million-dollar residencies like Adele is doing. His wife, Hailey Bieber, with her company Road Beauty, is valued at over $1 billion, which is enough for them to live a rich, carefree life. In the end, Justin Bieber is at a crossroads. He can come back, continue the game, become the Justin Bieber the world once loved. Or he can retire, live a peaceful life with Hailey, play golf, record when he wants, no longer worrying about fame or scandal. No matter what he chooses, Justin has been, is, and will always be a part of popular culture. If you like this series, The Secret Behind Justin Bieber, please like, subscribe, and comment so I can continue the series about Selena Gomez, Scooter Braun, or behind the scenes of Hollywood.